It is easy to forget, with the benefit of hindsight, that the outcome of the Second World War during much of the conflict was not inevitable. Victory for the UK and its allies was by no means assured. As Max Hastings wrote, "For a year following the fall of France in 1940, Britain fought on without any rational prospect of final victory. Even the entry of the US into the war after Japan's bombing of Pearl Harbor provided no guarantee of success. Doubts remained even at the highest level. As the Normandy landings unfolded, Eisenhower famously carried a letter written on the eve of D-Day, which he was to make public in the event of failure. It read, "Our landings in the Cherbourg-Havre area have failed to gain a satisfactory foothold, and I have withdrawn the troops. My decision to attack at this time and place was based upon the best information available. If any blame or fault attaches to the attempt, it is mine alone." Fortunately, the letter remained in the Supreme Commander's pocket. There had, of course, been previous setbacks. While the rescue of hundreds of thousands of troops from the beaches of Dunkirk in 1940 was seen as a heroic adventure, it masked the fact that this was a major defeat that could have had a far worse outcome if the evacuation had been delayed any longer and the 338,000 returning troops had remained stranded. At the time, Britain was standing almost alone against the Nazi threat, and in the event, the entry of the United States into the war more than a year later proved to be decisive, but only after some frightening reverses and numerous hold-ups. In fact, the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor that precipitated the United States' involvement had followed another decisive instance of Axis overreach, Hitler's invasion of Russia in June 1941, described by Hastings as the most demented of Hitler's strategic decisions. After Pearl Harbor, the might of the US forces back in Britain and the other countries fighting alongside, it ensured that the Allies were therefore odds-on favourites to win the war. But as racegoers know to their cost, being favourite is no guarantee of victory. Even then, the road to the ultimate triumph was long. On land in most of the key theatres of the war, the railways were central to the transportation system in a way which seems improbable today. In fact, the railways were at the core of the UK's transport system. All long-distance freight transport was by rail, supported by coastal navigation for bulk products such as coal. There were no motorways, and apart from the odd bypass and short section of dual carriageway, the roads were more suitable for the horses and carts which they still carried than large lorries. Although the reliability and size of trucks had improved since the First World War, when they were little used apart from short journeys, carrying freight on roads remained a subsidiary form of transport after the Second World War broke out, and was principally confined to delivery to and from railheads.